Hello, Lee Kemp here for another week on the podcast. We are back, full strength. Jose Noya, Ryan Boniface. How are we doing, guys?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. I said that there, and you both nodded, which is terrible, terrible for a podcast. You need
I
to.
was waiting. I was just waiting, and I'm going to say I'm very fine, Lee, and we hope you are too. And you said you're okay, so that's all good.
Thanks for that sincere answer. Right, we're back, full strength. It is roasting today, which I'm not going to complain about. I love a bit of hot weather. So, I have a subject for this week, and I want to revisit something, but through a lens of how I see it now, because it's something you brought up as a subject a while ago, Joe, and it's really stuck with me, and I think it's really left an impression on my brain. And it's the everything is temporary concept. And is that Wabi Sabi, or is that something different?
So Wabi Sabi was the pots where you break them and then you put them back together with gold.
With the gold. And is that linked to the everything's temporary, or is that something different as well? I feel like that was all the same sort of part of the same subject.
Well, yeah, I mean, everything's always changing, isn't it? So they talk about the river, don't they? And you never step into the same river twice. So everything is temporary in that way. Nothing lasts forever. But I like this. I think I'm gonna really enjoy this subject.
Yeah, Wabi Sabi
yeah,
centres on the acceptance of transience and imperfection. That's it. That's where I got it from, and it's definitely during that we talked about that. And it's that bit. It's the bit I love it. I'm thinking of getting myself. I know I could make it, but you must have to buy him a little bowl with the gold stuff on it, because I really like the concept, and I'm sure this laid into the thing of everything's temporary, or it's always changing, or everything's always moving. So I, this last weekend, went to watch one of our kids play hockey in a tournament. We go and do this every year. So this is, I think, my third visit to the same place where it's done. So it's on this, where it is, it's on this little industrial, I say little, it's on an industrial estate. And the first time I went up there is driving through. And it's in Rotherham. You drive through Sheffield, you go into Rotherham, and the way we were driving through, you go through where a lot of the old steel mills and stuff were. And the first time we went up there, there's a lot of these closed down factories and steel mills, and it's all, factories that look like no one's been in them for 30 years and that sort of thing. So you drive through that, and you drive onto this industrial estate where it's the same. There's some places that are operational, but there's a lot of closed down factories and stuff like that as well. The second time I went up there's a bit of regeneration going on. So they were building some new warehouses. They were encouraging people to get into the factories and stuff like that. And it was quite good seeing. I didn't think much of it at the time, other than there was a bit more life going on than before. This time, every building was occupied, like driving through. So like the place where there's an old steel mill, and it's been turned into a little mini business park, divided up into lots of little offices, and they're all full. A lot of the other factories got other people on now. There's a lot of new, either industrial or commercial business parks, office spaces, stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is I felt really good seeing this. Like, it really regenerated. Everything was occupied. Everything had signs on it. Everyone had someone in it doing things. And we went a different way into the place where the rink is that we go to. And up the road from the rink, because we'd have a lot of time to kill, so we go and walk around. And there's one factory we walked past, which was closed down. Doesn't look like anyone had been in there for forever. And it's like this old Art Deco building, and it was like an electrical plant factory, but it was just completely closed. But I liked it because I liked the style of the building. It looked like it was right out the 1940s type of thing. And I was like, I really want to see if someone's in there. That was like I'd love it if someone was there. Not only was someone in there, they were recreating. So they'd use the shell of the building, but they were creating like a new factory around it. So there's all these corrugated steel, I would say corrugated steel, like 2 stories tall walls. But there's holes in it where they were using the original windows and stuff of the factory, and they were completely regenerating this factory into something new. And that kind of cinched it for me. I'm like, literally every place is now, because next to it was like an old yard that was empty, that's now a garage that had 10 cars being fixed in it and stuff like that. So it was really quite, I don't know, inspiring, motivational, whatever the word is, to see that literally every one of these closed places was now full of people, full of business, full of people doing things. There's obviously been a lot of effort put into it, but it was completely regenerated. And it's that thing is, if you went there 3 years ago, again, it was quite sad to see that, these places that was a hive of industry was literally rotting and decaying. 3 years later, it's full of people again. No doubt, 10 years time, those things might have moved and it's back to a state of being unloved and unused. but that will bring on the next wave of generation, and this cycle continues. And it's really this, yeah, I've really bought into it in lots of places, this concept that things are temporary, things are transient, things move on, nothing's there forever. And it gives a lot of reassurance. And that's not that everything's disposable and everything's thrown away, because there's a number of projects I'm working on at the moment that you guys know about, that I'm absolutely pouring my heart and soul into, and I really want to build these things and make them substantial. But they're really important to my life right now, and it might be that these things become things that are even more important to my life, and they grow and they build, or they might not, and that's fine, because then you kind of shelf that and you move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and it all ties back to this kind of everything's temporary model for me. And I really, yeah, it's really stuck, and I see it in a lot of places, and I resonate with a lot of places, and it both motivates me but brings a lot of comfort, removes a lot of stress as well from some things. Helps with to-do list. Like I've got, like you do, like everyone does, there's a million DIY projects I want to do around the house, and all the while they're not done, or all the while you're doing them, you're very conscious and doing them. But it's literally, it could be something you've been waiting to do for 5 years, and it takes you 6 months to do. But from day one after it's completed, and all that, what it did look like, what needed to be done, the hassle is just gone. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter anymore, because it's now that thing. And within a month, it'll be like that thing's been there forever. And I just keep reassuring myself on that. So it made me really think about it a lot this weekend. And I thought, that's a really good, and I didn't know where I'd tie it back to, but I just thought, I just want to share those thoughts. And it's I thought a really good thing to talk to you guys about, because it does, I say it again, but I find it both a stress reliever and a motivator at the same time, buying into that concept.
Yeah.
Over to you.
I really like that. Ryan, have you got any thoughts on this?
No, you go first, please.
That's it. Throw him out there. Don't let him just
That's
pop
it.
it
I'm just doing that every time now.
Yeah, I really like this, because everything is temporary. You're right, and I suppose for me, looking at that, it is reassuring, because I think what you're describing there is you're living in the present moment. You're accepting things what it is, but you are accepting that you'll lose things, things will grow, and things will die back. And that place that you described sounded like it was gone for a cycle of desolation, or whatever you want to call it, not having people there, and now it's got people there because someone's decided to build something and make something exciting. How I look at life as well is like my mum. It's like I look at that temporary thing as, the relationships you have will not be there forever. And I'm taking a little bit of a dark turn on this, but I think it's really important to hold that close. That, that's why living, still making plans, of course, but you really do need to live in the present moment, because things will change. Nothing is permanent. So whether it's a really great thing, you want that to last as long as possible because it's great. But remember, there will be, I think you described it, the ups and downs of life.
Absolutely.
Something's really terrible and bad won't be there forever. It will evolve. It will change. You just have to just stick through it. So this is why I love this. It's just a cycle, isn't it? When I go and see a special place where I go for a walk and you see nature, you see the first, in the winter there's nothing there, and then the growth comes and it dies back and it comes up, and it changes all the time. It's never the same place. It's that like they say about that saying about you never step into the same river twice. You might go to the same place, but it's actually slightly changed. And that's what I love. And it does give me comfort as well, because if you are going through a tough time, if you can stick with it, you will get through it. You will do, provided you come out, alive, whatever it is, you will get through it if you just stick with it. If it's not fatal, you will come through it and you'll grow from it. And I've had loads of instances in my life where that's happened, where things have been amazing, things have been difficult. But this is why I like this thing of thinking things temporary. I think Robin Williams really described it really well, and I am going to take a bit of a tart turn, and I want to just be warning to my viewers about this, that what Robin Williams said, that suicide is a permanent solution to temporary problems. And I think I really like that, because that sort of links to what you say, that everything can, it's going to be changeable. It's going to change at some point. It's just you stick with it. Man's search for meaning, the concentration camps, you start with it. He survived. People didn't, of course. But things do change. If you can stand it, you can make it through. Anyway, so I really, this is why I really like this subject, Lee, because it's such a powerful concept. And I think if people hold this close, recognizing that, relationships won't last forever, won't just won't last forever. Enjoy it now. Do the things now as much as you can. Still plan for a future, because you know you've got that future. You are going to have a future, but make sure you do enjoy things. Make sure you do enjoy the moment with your friends, family. It's really important. And if you're struggling, just keep making it through. Use this podcast, use our content, just to keep making it through. Make those steps, because there will be light at the end of that tunnel if you just keep going. Lee, this is so deep for me. I love this. It's such a great subject. But anyway, I'm going to throw the ball over. Ryan, you got anything on that? Or Lee?
I'd like to take it a step further, really. If you look around you right now, and anyone that's listening does the same, a couple of seconds, look at every single thing that you can. That was once something else. Your house was once just a brick that was once just clay. Your glasses were once just sand on a beach and plastic that we hadn't molded from a different material yet. Every single thing that exists that you use, touch, hold, see, feel, hear, everything was once something else on the planet. And it's either been recycled and manufactured out of what you would call natural resources. Now, that's a bit of a loose term, because obviously there are synthetic materials that have been created out of whatever, but there is nothing that's on the planet that wasn't on the planet in theory billions of years ago. Obviously there are things that happen that change, and geological changes and things like that occur, and erosion and things like that, but whatever our lives are made from was once dirt, stone, sand, wood, whatever, that was a forest on a tree on an island on a globe sat somewhere. And everything is temporary that's happened around that, and everything will continue to be temporary forever around that, because one day the earth is going to blow up 50 billion years from now and engulf everything that exists around it. That's just temporary. And there's a weird I don't even know if this is a word, but there's a weird catharticism to it. It makes me feel cathartic that no matter what you have or what you don't have, it doesn't matter, because it's not yours. Nothing you own is yours. You just possess it for a period of time. You might sell something, you might lose something, you might destroy something, you might keep something, but you then might die, and then it's not yours anymore. And temporary is changed to somebody else. I find it cathartic, but I can understand that some people might find it difficult to grasp and live their life knowing that no matter what they do, nothing's going to stay the same. People that have real control issues, I think, struggle with scenarios like this, because they can't control that something is theirs and will always be theirs. The only thing that is not temporary, and that this kind of depends on how you view it, are your feelings and emotions at the time of a scenario, or your memories about certain things, unless you forget them as you get older, or you know, whatever. They're the kind of things that aren't temporary, because your conscious and subconscious has taken a snapshot video, so to speak, of a scenario that you're involved in, and either rightly or wrongly will at random points in your day just go ding ding ding, remember this. It's weird. It's a weird concept. The only thing that isn't temporary is realistically your memories, but then even your subconscious is temporary, because what happens when you die? So, well, it depends on what view you have, I suppose, at that point. But it just, for me, I think I find this, as somebody that has tendencies, especially professionally, to that struggles to let go of certain things or relinquish control of things. I find thinking about scenarios like this grounds me back from my heightened emotion state of something that's changed that I don't like to, well, it was never mine anyway, so it is what it is. I try and get through that process quite quickly, but it's not always as possible as easy or as possible as that, as I'm sure we all know. But yeah, I think it's a really good subject. It's a really thoughtful piece to go through. But it's also probably one of the most obviously clear things that you can see in real life that we tend to speak about. We talk about behaviors and personality traits and how people act and how we act, which can all be a bit subjective. What we've spoken about today is a hard, almost a hard fact, so to speak, of how life progresses and how things around you change. And that happens to everyone. Something that we all share is that things change.
Love that.
Lee.
I got, when you first kind of said to Joe and you handed it over, I was like, oh, I wonder what Ryan's got to say, and then you just hit it there. That was really good. I found the quote. I think that's the bit that stuck with me. So I've got here, Wabi Sabi, and this is from Richard Powell. Wabi Sabi nurtures all that is authentic by acknowledging three simple realities. Nothing lasts, nothing is finished, and nothing is perfect. And then the irony in this is I've then looked up, because I really want to get a bowl that represents this. They cost a fortune. My God. They're imperfect and they're broken and they cost a fortune. So now I'm going to make my own bowl. And then if it's really good, I'm going to sell these all. And then I'm going to parlay my life into a industry of Wabi Sabi merchandise. All of which will not be finished, will not be perfect, and probably won't last.
Exactly, that's what I was going to add that.
But yeah, no, thank you. I really like that it's kind of given so many thoughts and the reality to it, because I say it really, just, I noticed what I noticed this weekend, and then this kind of will come back to me. And there's a lot of times where I'm doing, building things, making things, creating projects, doing whatever it is, day-to-day life, where this thought really does help. And I think there was a time when I use cars as an analogy on this. And again, not that I don't take care of what I've got, mostly because you have to give them back sometimes, so you've got to make sure in good condition. But there would have been a time where a scratch on the car would have been like, oh well, that's it, that would have been disastrous. And now I'm like, 2 years I'm probably not even going to have that car anymore, and what's it going to matter, and who's going to care? And again, not that makes me reckless, but it just grounds me on kind of what is important and what is not important.
Yeah, I get that. I still get that feeling that when something breaks or it's annoying, but it's like trying to bring your better self back to that thought.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. And it doesn't mean that we don't strive. It doesn't mean we don't do things, because part of the human thing, in my view, this is my view, is that we should be trying to be better, because we're just trying to make this planet a little bit better by being here. Because I think as humans, we are designed to grow. We are meant to build things. We are to make things that are better. We're meant to try and improve humankind by being a good human. I think there's still very much value in it, but it just got to recognise that it's just not going to be there forever. It's just not. No. And that's what I love about it, is that I think, because you could say, well, it's not going to. You could just fall into that trap of, well, if there's nothing's permanent, then what's the point? Well, the point is that you've got a life, and you want to live the best life, and the whole living in the present moment is really important. That you create a good environment whilst you're here, the best environment you can, for yourself and for other people, your family. Because there's a lot of value in that, and I do believe, my own belief, and I know it's the thing, is that you are here on this planet, to make a difference, in whatever way, shape, or your personal life, yourself, your family, just make it a great place, and it won't be there forever, but you might have left something that will then carry on for the next generations. They'll start to build good things, and it will be good, good changing things that will pivot in the right way. Like we've got AI at the moment, we do that well, then we can have an amazing future. Absolutely. This is where we are. And again, it's going to be all very important with the AI because of how that's going to be shaped. Go on, Lee, you're going to say.
And what it ties in with for me is that, sorry, did a yawn there, it's too warm in this room. Is my other thing, this kind of mantra that overlaps with it is everything's fixable, or there's a solution for everything, no matter what the problem is. And it might be quick, it might take a long time, you might not see it right now, but you will. But everything is fixable, and there is a solution for everything. You just got to find it. And again, accepting that makes it a lot easier to deal with things when they come up as well. And I just think those things, they all link together. And again, these are not ways of thinking I would have had 10, 15 years ago, and a lot calmer and get a lot more done at the same time because of those, I think. It makes me a lot less afraid to try things.
And that's the growth, isn't it? I mean, that's the growth, and that's what we're here. We're here to do that. Yeah, I just think it's a really powerful concept that nothing is permanent. Like you say, Lee, there will be a solution. It may not be apparent right now. It might be in the future. It might be, but it will be solvable, especially with AI right now. That's definitely coming on quantum computing, all that sort of stuff that's coming online. It's definitely going to be something very exciting coming on. Or, it can go the other way. But anyway, I don't want to diverse on the AI. But yeah, I love this thought of impermanence. I think it's really valuable because there's, whatever you're doing, you can change, you can pivot, and it's not going to be forever, whatever it is. So I think this is really good.
100%.
Thank you. I really enjoyed this. Yeah.
Right. Any closing thoughts on my rambles before I wrap us up?
Should we get for takeaways? Have you got one?
Yeah. Chicken balls, chili beef, egg fried rice, maybe some ribs if I'm feeling extravagant.
Oh, are you getting a takeaway tonight?
No, I'm not getting takeaway at all. I'm making a curry after this.
Oh, very nice.
It's a bit hot though. I might change my plans. We'll see where we are. Anyway, I'm rambling, guys. My takeaway from my subject is that it is transience. Everything is in a state of flux all the time, every day, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Jose Alfredo Noya, what is your takeaway?
I'm going to just say, live in the present moment. Nothing's permanent. Just do your best and know that that's good enough. Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Griffface Boniface.
Use the fact that nothing is permanent to release yourself of the pressure that you feel around things.
Good stuff. Right, we hope this has been as inspiring for everyone out there as it's been for us. If you like what you're doing, support the show, the podcast, the YouTube, the stream, the TikToks, whatever we call it, inspirationation.org.uk, and head over to in your Google machine, Jose Noya Inspiration, follow on YouTube, follow on TikTok. You'll get notified when going live. Loads of great content. You can get involved with the community itself. Any shout outs to do from the community for a sign us off, Jose?
Oh, 888. Yes, please. Yeah, 888. Let's put the gifts in the chat. 888. Just giving a load of gifts. Look at that. Hey, thanks, 888. Really appreciate that. So lovely. Thank you so much. No, 888 comes into my community a lot. So that's lovely. Yeah, it's brilliant to see you. I love seeing you. Some other ones have come in. Rose, Matt. Oh, loads of people have come in, which has been good. So, but yeah, 888, recognise you. Thank you so much for interacting, liking this live. We appreciate you. And they just said they missed me on the TikTok.
Love it. Lots of love.
Lovely.
Right. I will count us down. We'll be back next week. 3, 2, 1. Inspiration.
Catch you guys later.
And just said, very inspiring podcast. 888's given us some feedback.